Okay. My name is Marissa. I'm 26 years old. I was born and raised in a small town in South Florida. And I've decided that I'm going to talk about my experience with what I later found out. Hold on, let me rephrase. I'm going to talk about my experience as a targeted individual. I had no idea what that was. I didn't know that it existed. I didn't know that it was a thing. I didn't even realize that there was a name for what I was experiencing. And I recently came across a bunch of information that answered a lot of questions for me and gave me a little bit of insight of what was actually happening and what I was going through. So I'm going to start with my experience first, and then I'm going to explain what exactly I believe was going on. It all started about 3 years ago. I would have these intense dreams to where I knew I was dreaming, but they felt more real than a normal dream. They weren't like a regular nightmare or a regular dream sequence. And there were people in these dreams that I have never, met before. I wasn't thinking anything of it. I was just letting it go. It was just a crazy dream, blah, blah, blah. Well, when the dreams started to, be reoccurring and the characters or the people in these dreams were the same, it made me want to figure out, who these people are. Because I believe that our dreams are our subconscious's way of telling us what we're dealing with and helping us get through different scenarios that might be blocking our growth or just things that we're dealing with in our daily life. It's our way for our brain to, break it all down. Well, it took me about 2 years to figure out who these people were and why this was happening. I don't know if the dreams were caused by me being a targeted individual or if it was something bigger warning me about what was going to happen or what I was being, I was getting ready to be involved in or deal with. And it was just a lot of, not mixed messages, but mixed messages in the beginning. I would get information from different sources that were what I was believing were credible. And I was new to the whole, not conscious movement, but conscious movement. And it did take me a while to be able to decipher the difference between New Age doctrine and, the Albert Pikeism or whatever you want to call it. Because there's a lot of not so good people truthing or spreading knowledge or information. And there's people that prey on people that are targeted individuals. There's people that go after these people because they know that they're spiritually weakened because of the experiences that they're going through. Most of the time, a targeted individual will experience, extreme panic or a form of psychic attack. A lot of people are convinced that are in the targeted individual community are convinced that they're using actual weapons to do this. Like they've got microwave weapons that they are using. And that is true. There are people that have had documented experiences where they've come in contact with these weapons, they've seen them, and they've experienced them firsthand. They cause extreme heat. They'll cause, it's a wave that's being shot out of these weapons at this targeted person, and it's causing that person to, feel different things. Like sometimes they can send out, extreme love vibration or extreme pain. It all depends. There's a big spectrum. The higher the vibration, the better you feel. The lower the vibration, the worse you're going to feel. But that's not the only way that they do this. Now, this might be extremely left field for most that won't understand anything that I'm fixing to say. But what I'm fixing to talk about has been around since the beginning of time. It's been around since, man walked the earth. We are more than just human beings. We have abilities that are encoded into our DNA that not everyone has. Everyone is different when it comes to their abilities and what they are able to do and what they are able to tolerate as a individual. There's only so much a person can accept as a vibration and to match it to their frequency or to their, comfort zone. And there's been studies on, throughout time about, psychological, not transmutation, but transmutation, where as early as as early as an ancient Kemet, they studied hypnosis. And hypnosis is basically, what's the word? Self-talk, because all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. If something is repeated into somebody's subconscious enough, it will become a core value to them. So if they are to hear, that you're worthless or that you're never going to amount to anything, that's going to become a core value to that person. And a lot of people don't realize you don't have to be a certified hypnotist or have a degree in hypnosis to be able to hypnotize someone. And you do not have to be a conscious, willing participant to become hypnotized. We are all, in a sense, targeted individuals. And what I mean by that is our television, our entertainment, the music that we are told to listen to, and the music that we come across, and different avenues that are for entertainment purposes. Those are all forms of hypnosis. Whether the people that are producing this, entertainment are conscious of it or not, it is a form of hypnosis. Think about it. When you're repeating the chorus to a song over and over and over again, it's going to become locked into your person. It's going to become a part of your vibration. It is going to be a part of who you are. If you listen to it enough, if you acknowledge it and entertain yourself enough. Because think about the word itself. Entertain. You're entering something. You're entering the tane. What exactly are you letting entertain you? And that's something that I had to learn the hard way, because I had to find out that some of the people that I was not looking up to, but admiring and thinking that they were, pretty good people, getting a lot of information from them and learning and, experiencing these different things, I had to realize that they were a part of the people that were targeting me. It broke my heart. It hurt. I'm not going to lie. I was madly in love with one of the people that was responsible for this. And it was just I wouldn't say madly in love. It was more like a crush thing. And it hurt my feelings, because it was like, how do you say things and not mean them just to, reach a goal? And not all targeted individuals are targeted for a reason that would be extreme or necessary to the masses. There's certain people that have the ability to awaken other people just by being around them. All they have to do is come in contact with a person, and it will cause their frequency to not mutate, but shift to where they're able to see things and notice things that they didn't necessarily notice before. And I think that was one of the reasons why I was targeted. My attacks didn't start getting really, really bad until about a year ago. I had started writing a book, and it just came to me out of nowhere. I just started writing down all this information, and it was a book, and it was good. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, where did this come from? Why am I being so inspired to, tell this story? And in the book, there's information about things that I was dreaming. I would have these dreams, and I would dream it first, and then I'd see it in waking life, and then I would research it and research it and research it until I've learned it. And then I would try to teach other people or share this information. or included in my book, because I felt that this is something, I felt that it was my duty since I was young, very young, to not teach other people, but introduce them to things that they aren't even conscious that they exist. A lot of people are so, blinded by a holographic reality that they think that that's all there is that holographic reality. And that's bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit. There is no other way to put it. It's lies. It's bullshit. There's more to life than what meets the eye. There's more to life than what affects your quote unquote 5 senses. There's people out there with more than 5 senses. There's people out there with more than 6 senses. There's more senses that are inside of your brain that science and technology or whatever has not even been able to begin to understand. It goes along with, I'm not trying to compare myself to Nikola Tesla, but he was a targeted individual. They would steal his stuff. Like, he would come up with these genius ideas, and this group of individuals would come in and they would steal all his shit, release it, and then just try to destroy the things that he was trying to create for himself. He wasn't a money-driven man. He wasn't out there trying to, get rich. He was out there trying to help people and give them free electricity and free technology and radio. I'm pretty sure he invented, the software that does, how radios connect or something. I don't know. I'm not an expert on Nikola Tesla, but what I'm saying is, there's so many people out there that are being targeted, and they don't even know that they're being targeted. They just think they have a shitty life, and they're going through this shitty situation, and it just keeps fucking happening, and they don't know why. They have no idea. They're experiencing all this and going through it and have no clue on why or what's the reason or who actually is behind the attacks. And it's not okay. It's not okay for these people to continue to do this. And there's plenty of targeted individuals that were targeted, were attacked, and the attacks couldn't stick. They didn't work. Instead of them being crippled by the attacks, they were, like myself, energized by them. I would have these instances where they were trying to make me feel completely, like a piece of shit. It was gang stalking is one of the things that they do. Like, they'll do it on the internet. They'll have a bunch of accounts, just say stuff that literally fucks with your subconscious. Like, anything you say and do, if you're a targeted individual, is being recorded. I know right now that I'm talking into this camera. I know that for a fact. I'm sitting here in front of this HP True Vision camera, and I'm talking to the camera. But I also know that I have people watching me through this camera, watching my every move. And it had to get to the point to where I was completely scared shitless of the fact that I had no privacy, that I finally was like, fuck it, I don't care, let them watch me. There's nothing that I'm doing that is going to get me into trouble or get me any more hurt than I already am. I don't break the law. I'm not out stealing and robbing and trying to blow up buildings and shit. That ain't me. That's not what it is. I'm not a part of ISIS. I'm not into, I don't necessarily involve myself in religions or into westernized society, and that makes me a target. I stand up for, that makes me a target just in its own, because I don't claim a religion and because I still am spiritual and I still believe that there is a creator. It scares the shit out of people because that takes out all the doctrine and all the dogma involved in religion and rips it right out and still puts the truth in there. And that intimidates the people that are using this as a control base. There's entirely too many people in this world right now that have the knowledge to be able to free the entire world, but they're scared to fucking get it out because of the shit that's going on. I have vans, literally white vans, that follow me wherever I go. I'm at the bus stop bringing my kid to school. Okay, minding my own business. Minding my own business, not doing anything. At the bus stop, there's a van that parks there every day and has for the last year and a half, every single day, with huge antennas on the top of it. Can you explain that? I mean, what do you do, buddy? What you doing? And when she gets on the bus, he leaves. Like, what? Like, what is the sense in that? You know, and I didn't didn't acknowledge it in the beginning when it first started happening, you know, because it was like, oh, what the fuck ever, you know, who the fuck is this guy? And then it started happening more and more and more. And then I would notice I'm at Walmart, I come out and there's white van with fucking antennas on it and some fucking random dude sitting in there, you know, while I'm getting in the car to go leave. You know, like, really? You know, I'm not saying that all Masons are bad. I'm not knocking Masonry and I'm not fucking kicking y'all in the teeth, but I know that there are Masons that are involved in this practice of targeting these people and hurting them. You're not using them. It gets from the point to be you're using them to you're hurting them, trying to destroy them. You know, Myron May, get back to him. Myron May literally had a what was it? It was a Desert Eagle, I think. Fucking handgun. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But he walked into a library with at least 200, 300 people in there. Finals week. If he wanted to kill somebody in that library, he would have killed somebody in that library. That man gave up his life to shed light on what myself and thousands of other people around the world are dealing with every single day. I can't post things on the internet without them. It's like jet lagged. I'll go to post something, it takes at least 5 minutes before it even goes through. And most of the time, my captions that I write underneath my post get edited or rearranged or whatever happens to them. You know, the point behind all of this is there's certain people that are targeted and there's certain people that deal with it and there's certain people that don't deal with it. Certain people that can't deal with it. There's certain people that are gifted and they don't realize how gifted they are, so they become dependent on other people. And they think that they need this and this and this to be able to survive. And I'm going to tell you right now, at the peak of my experience when I was being targeted to the point to where I thought, I literally was convinced, you know, and this is fucked up. I was literally convinced that there was people coming after me. They were going to come and kill me and set me up and try to take my fucking kid and sacrifice them to the Bohemian Grove. Okay? Sounds fucking crazy. It does. It really does. I understand. Sounds fucking nuts. But hear what I'm saying. I had sequences when I would be on Instagram or Facebook and I would have these random people come out of nowhere and like my pictures. But in sequence. It was like they would come in and they would like certain things and say certain things or comment on certain things, and it would lead you to believe, it would hit my subconscious and make me be like, oh my god, what the fuck is this? And then I'm being hit with all this, you know, these energy things from dude in the van or whatever the fuck he was doing or whatever that is. You don't need all them antennas unless you're sending out fucking energy and fucking sound waves or whatever the fuck you're sending out. Why else would you need all them CB antennas? It takes one antenna to power a CB. I'm from the fucking country. I know these things. I know how CB radios work. You don't need that many, bro. And, you know, I'm dealing with that. So I was having these instances come in. And at one point, when I was at the peak of my freak out, and it was on, I will never forget the 5th of fucking November, because that's when all this shit happened. It was the 5th of November. When I completely, of not this year, but last year, completely not lost my shit, but I lost my shit. I was knocked off my fucking square, out of there. Crazy thoughts going through my mind because of how many different things were done. And that's how gang stalking works. This was when at the peak of it was really going on. I would go to the gas station right down the street, and there'd be some dude, you know, in the store, and probably 3 dudes outside of the store with either big huge rings that said they were Masons, or shirts that had their lodge number and the G and compass on it. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? You know, what the fuck is this? In between me writing the book and when the dream started about 3 years ago, I was contemplating joining the Masons. I did the research. I found out that I have, you know, family members that are Masons, and it's in my bloodline or something like that. And I believe that could be one of the reasons why I was targeted, because there's power in your blood. whatever anybody wants to lie and say that, oh, you're just you and you only live once and all that bullshit. No, there is so much power and locked in your DNA because of the things that your ancestors were into and the things that their ancestors were into. All of that stuff is encoded in your being. And the reason why these people are like myself are being targeted is because most of us, there's certain people that are go through life, and when they die, they're judged and their heart's put on the, some people believe it's the scales of Mahat, and your heart's put on the scale and it's got to be lighter than a feather. Other people believe that you got to go talk to St. Peter and you can't be no sinner and you got to take Christ and all that. But still, when you die, most people agree that you will be judged on whether or not you're going to either A, become reincarnated, come back to hell, or B, go on to heaven, whatever. And then some people think you just die, but that's some boring ass shit. I can't live my life thinking that you just live and die and then that's it. That's bullshit. But the point behind that is there's some people that have been incarnated that don't have any karmic debt. They do not carry all of the baggage that somebody else would carry. They're not new souls. They're not brand new souls. These are old souls that have incarnated so many times they chose to come back to deal with the shift of consciousness that's going on right now. These aren't people that have, you know, fucked up and did something wrong and they're in the prison planet to be punished. No. These are people that have decided to come back here. And there's still lessons that they have to learn. That's part of it. When you come to this planet and you incarnate here, you are responsible for receiving knowledge and giving knowledge. You're responsible for bringing energy or taking energy and replacing that energy. That is your responsibility. But like I just said a minute ago, there's some people that when they die, they're not going to be judged. They will not face purgatory. They will not face having to come back here. And a lot of those people are targeted individuals because that privilege is solely based upon that person. That privilege is something that only that person can take away. And if you're influenced by these outside sources and by these people trying to manipulate who you are as a person, you can have that privilege taken away from you. And that's why I believe a lot of these people that are targeted individuals freak out the way that they do because they're hit as hard as they are. Because a lot of them, like myself, I've dealt with a lot of, uniqueness my entire life. I don't think I'm special. I do not think I'm special. I do not sit here and claim, oh, I'm fucking special. I'm fucking Messiah. No. But I do know that I'm different. I do know that I was born with a consciousness that is not like most people. I'm not the type that, takes information out of a book and it's solid information for me. No. I literally, like I said before, I have to dream things and then see them in waking life and then research them until I cannot research them anymore before I will even try to accept the information. Not believe the information, accept the information. Because believing, there's a part of a lie in there. You can't have believe without lie in there. And it's something that a lot of people don't understand because of how they've been programmed. So much has been taken away from the human race and from our evolution by the people that are in control and the people that are in power. These targeted individuals are being attacked the way that they are because of this. Because of the fact that they are not accepting this information. If you find a targeted individual, you're going to find a fucking fountain of knowledge. Just random shit, And it's, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a scholar. I'm not saying that I'm a genius or anything like that. But I am saying that there's so much shit that I just know. Like an autodidact or whatever. Self-taught person, And everybody wants to scream in these circles, oh, lean not on your own understanding. Why wouldn't you lean on your own understanding? Why wouldn't you take your experience and what you've gone through and base your learning and your training and your life off of what you've experienced? Your own understanding is what is, laying the path for your life. That's how you know what life is. How you understand it. You know, I'm not saying be stuck in your own understanding, but I am saying that you need to take your own understanding and learn from that and take on other information that either A, tells you maybe you was thinking wrong, you know, or B, tells you no, you're right, you know, and that's just life. You know, society wants you to question yourself and question your abilities and be dependent on outside shit. And you don't need to be dependent on outside shit. I will tell you firsthand, I've been hit with weapons, the microwave weapons. I've had instances where I've been sitting in the car and it felt like my whole body was on fire. Literally on fire in a second. To the point to where I had to take my jacket off because of how hot the metal zipper was on it. Okay? Crazy fucking shit. That just doesn't happen. I'm not going through menopause. I wasn't having fucking hot flashes. But the shit kept happening. You know, over and over and over again. These fucking bursts of heat out of nowhere. You know, and I'd be sitting there trying to act like ain't nothing going on and holding it all on the inside and not saying anything. And I'm tired of not saying anything. Okay? I can't take it anymore. And if you are a targeted individual and you are going through these experiences, you need to understand that you can block that shit. You can put up a barrier around yourself to where it can't come in. I haven't had the instances where I've had heat in probably 6-7 months because I took my fucking power back and I said no fucking more. You're not hitting me with the fucking bullshit. You're not gonna come in my dreams and all that extra shit. It's not happening. You know, because all these waves have to do when they're shooting this energy out of the whatever they're shooting it out of, all it has to do is be at a frequency that will cause your brain to jump on that wave. Once it jumps on that wave, you will start to have a flood of memories, you know, be activated in your brain. Like if you get hit with just an example, say you get hit with a vibration that is exactly the same to your very first home run T-ball game. Okay, the very first time you made a home run in T-ball, you're going to feel fucking great. You're going to have all of these memories flood your mind. Okay, and once these memories start flooding your mind, that's when they hit you with another vibration that's from the same time or from, you know, a similar frequency, and they gradually will make the vibration get lower and lower and lower. Extremely low frequencies is when you're in panic and you're freaking out and you're thinking all kinds of nasty shit. Not nasty like sexual nasty, but nasty as in like evil nasty. And that's not okay. If you are a targeted individual, do not let these motherfuckers convince you that you're a bad person. Do not let them convince you that you have done anything wrong. And well, if you've done shit wrong in your life, you've done shit wrong in your life. Accept that shit. But don't continue to do these things. Don't let anyone convince you that you're lesser than a person or lesser than a human being than somebody else. Do not do that. That is bullshit. You know, it's literally, I thank my lucky stars every day to, you know, for giving me the ability to see what I didn't see in myself. It took myself being able to let go of everything and break completely down. Literally broke completely down. I was on the floor at my ex's house, on the floor, curled up in a ball, thinking that the Illuminati was coming to fucking get me and they was gonna kill me. They make you, if you're a targeted individual, they make you believe that you are only going to live a very short life. You're going to die young and you are going to be killed by some freak fucking accident. Okay? It's not the truth. It's not true. That's not going to happen. You are not, if you are being targeted, if you are experiencing these things, no one can control when you die. They have to, these people that are doing these targets and putting like the energy on people, these sound waves on people or spells on people, whatever you want to call it, because there are people that are working, you know, with soul mind power, causing people to go completely fucking nuts. There's people out there with fucking mutant abilities that you wouldn't believe, just like the fucking X-Men. That shit is real, very fucking real. There are people out there that can manipulate weather. There's people out there that can make fire in their fucking hands. And before these people realize that they can do these things, they are targeted individuals because they want them afraid of their power. They want them to turn to fucking Jesus Christo or Jesus fucking Christ or who the fuck ever to save them and give all their fucking power away. Give it all to this guy or give it all to that guy or find a fucking guru. No, don't fucking do that. If you are a targeted individual and you believe you are being targeted, I'm going to say this one more time. Take your fucking power back. You can't sleep at night because they're hitting you with these waves. I experienced that shit too, where it would go nights where it would be hell trying to get myself to go to sleep. I would hear this loud buzzing. So my head always buzzes. I've always had buzzing in my ears my whole fucking life. It's always been like that. Like my pineal gland is in there fucking all the time. Okay? All the time. But when I was being attacked, I had a different type of buzzing. It was more of a ringing and a piercing feeling. Okay? When that happened, I started freaking out. Literally freaking out. Thinking that I was going crazy. There was something wrong with me. I was gonna be possessed. All kinds of crazy shit. You know? But that's when I had to really take myself aside and think, I've been dealing with this for how long? How much more of it am I actually going to accept? And once I decided I wasn't going to accept any more of it, I wasn't going to tolerate the shit, it laid off. You know, like Christians even say this, resist the devil and he'll flee. That's some true shit, you know, and the devil isn't just one person or one entity. You know, there are a lot of truths to Christianity. I'm not trying to knock Jesus or anything like that, but that's another video. It's just a lot of, there's so many twisted ideologies that play right into these, you know, foundations of thinking that make these people that are targeted and are going through these experiences feel like shit, feel like outcasts. Okay, most of them either A, kill themselves, or B, shoot up fucking situations. You got Myron May, you got Aaron Alexis, the lady that drove her fucking kids into the ocean. Yeah, you remember that? Fucking few years, like not month ago, probably a year and 6 months ago, or however long it's been, where the lady took her kids in the van and drove out into the middle of the ocean. Yeah, that lady, she was hearing fucking voices. You know, that's the easiest thing that they do when it comes to this type of attacks. They'll make you hear these, you know, voices. I never heard the voices, and I later found out that's because of the fact that, you know, my brain is stronger than, my brain wouldn't accept the waves. They were pushing them, but it wouldn't accept them. You know, I've never heard, God forbid, I've never heard no motherfucking voice in my head or some fucking booga booga in there telling me to do some crazy shit. I feel really bad for the people that fucking do actually experience that shit. And, you know, when these people come out and they're experiencing these things, they'll go in front of therapy. They'll go to therapy because they're like, I'm going fucking crazy, bro. Like, what the fuck is going on? And some of these doctors are in on the situation that's going on. So they'll, you know, diagnose these people as paranoid schizophrenics. And as soon as you're diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic, your fucking credibility is out the door. Nobody's going to believe what you say. And that's part of the way that it's set up. That's part of the way that it works. You know, the powers that be don't want people thinking. They don't want people taking their power back and standing up for themselves. They don't want this shit to happen. They don't want evolution. They want us wiped the fuck out. There's certain people that are going to survive when the real higher ups are had enough, and there's certain people that aren't going to survive. And it's all part of, you know, the major plan. You know, the universe was designed to continuously grow and expand and evolve and keep going. And the people that are trying to stunt that growth haven't paid for that yet. They haven't had that karma come back on them. And the funny part about it is it's all going to come back on them at once because of how fucked up it's been and how much shit has gone on. You know? So don't be afraid. Do not get lost in, you know, these feelings and the pain that comes along with being a targeted individual. Get your power back. Accept who you are and take control of your life again. You know, do not hold on to the pain that someone else is trying to cause for you. If you have instances where you're feeling off of your element or out of your zone, focus on times where you were in your zone. Pull yourself back into yourself. Okay, carry magnets with you. Magnets help. This is hematite. It's a natural magnetized stone. It helps a lot for me. Copper. This is all copper. You know, it blocks it out. You know, there's a lot of things that you can do as preventative measures, but these are outside things. The majority of the work that you have to do as a targeted individual to bring yourself not back to who you were or back to what you once were, because you won't never get back to that. I'm sorry to break it to you, but that won't happen. You're growing and you're evolving. The universe would not let this happen to you if you were not meant to do something with it. Speak out. Tell other people what you're going through. Experience these things not by yourself. Let people know, you know, like when you feel these things, point it out, you know, and I'm going to make it a point to do that too. You know, when I go out with different people and out in these different experiences where I'm out and about in town or whatever, I'm going to start pointing it out to people, because I don't say anything, because I don't want the people around me to freak out, because I'll lose a lot of friends if I start telling them, oh, hey, by the way, I'm getting stalked by white vans and fucking Masons. You sure you want to go out with me? You know, it freaks people out. It's an intimidating situation. My family thinks I'm fucking crazy until they start seeing it. And then they're like, well, holy shit, they're going to come fucking get you one day. And I'm like, good, whatever, let it happen. You know, fuck it. I'm over it at this point. It's not fair to me, and it's not fair to the other people that are going through these situations. And there's so many people out there that are involved in this on both sides that want the fuck out. They're tired of it and they don't want to fucking do it anymore. You know, and this message is partly for you guys too. You need to fucking seriously contemplate on whether or not you want to continue doing this. Are you going to be on the right side when fucking world stops turning? That's something you really need to ask yourself. Something you need to bring to the forefront of your consciousness. Are you on the right team? Are you fighting for the right cause? Are you going to be standing on level ground when the earth stops fucking spinning the way that it's spinning? What are you going to do? Where are you going to be? Where are you going to go? Are you helping people or are you hurting people? Are you living life to line your pockets? Or are you living life to become a better person? Are you living life to grow spiritually and involve other people and cause other people to grow and bring them to truth and reality and the nitty-gritty of life? What are you doing? What are you doing? You know, what can you be doing to help the situation? What can you be doing to help stop this shit? What are you doing? Because it's not okay. It's not okay anymore. It's not okay to just sit back, turn a blind eye, and not think about it anymore. You can't block this shit out. You can't. You just can't. You know, the colder it is outside, the more heavy the attacks get. I think that's probably why I'm speaking out. Because I'm seeing so many people, so many close friends, and people that I follow online, and it's emotional for me. I'm seeing so many people get attacked. So many people through these fake fucking pages on Instagram. While they'll come in with these fake ass fucking names and type all this crazy shit. They didn't get deleted during the sweep. They didn't get wiped out, but they're still fucking there. They're government COINTELPRO fucking agents going to these targeted individuals and completely undermining their opinion with lies and, you know, undermining the truth and what's actually happening. You know, and the majority of it, and it sucks to fucking say because y'all have been through enough, the highly melanated community, aka the so-called black folks, get it a hell of a lot worse than my lily white ass. And that is fucking the God's honest truth. It is the truth. I have watched these major pages get hit so hard that they don't even know what to do at that point. You know, they'll get flooded with all these fucking agents and all their comments and all this bullshit about God knows what, just to make them stop spreading the truth and stop talking about the knowledge of what is the factual situation of life. You know, the original beings on the planet were melanated, okay? They were fucking dark-skinned. They were black as can be. Dark motherfuckers, okay? Not this color. Not this color. So if you're targeted and you're spreading knowledge like that, I fucking love you, bro. On the real. Fucking sealed the deal. I'm gonna end the video on that note. Just don't put up with the shit anymore. You're not alone. You can get through this. If I can deal with this, you can deal with this. If I can make it stop, you can make it fucking stop. You know, there's people that deal with this for 20, 30 fucking years and are completely lost and barricaded in their fucking room in a fortress of newspapers stacked to the ceiling because they're hoarding everything they fucking see because they're trying to get evidence and piece everything together and nobody wants to listen to them. You're not fucking alone. You're not dealing with this alone. Reach out. Find people that are near you or online or whoever that you can talk to. Then worry about trusting somebody. Then worry about bringing them into your life. Don't say stuff that will get you in trouble or, things like that. But let people know how you feel. Don't go shoot up schools for attention. Don't do that. I love you, Myron May. Thank you for bringing the light to this. But you didn't have to die to get your fucking point across. Okay? You didn't. Aaron Alexis too. He didn't have to fucking die to get his point across. And it's fucking sad that these people are going to these measures just because no one wants to listen to them. Okay? You cannot silence us all. You cannot. You cannot silence us all. There's way too many of us. Way too fucking many.